Thanks. All right, good night. Good evening, Team Mango. Thank you so much for being with us. I am super excited to have my friend through Plexus, Kristine Wehyer, who's a diamond with Plexus, by the way, with us tonight. And she is going to share with us just what an amazing journey she has had with this business and how she has overcome that common obstacle that we hear so often of not having enough time. So Kristine, thanks so much again for being with us. I'll turn it over to you.
Yay! Well, I'm so excited to share with you guys tonight. I have to be honest and tell you, I love to train my own team, but I really love to get on with somebody else that doesn't know my story and a team that is kind of like fresh. And so I'm just excited to get to tell you all about my story and hopefully give you some, I guess, insight on how you are so able to do this business and do it well, even if you are trying to work it part-time. So yes, I'm Kristine Wehyer. I'm a Diamond Ambassador. I signed up for Plexus in March of 2014, so 3 years in this month. And I have to tell you, this has been a complete accidental business for me. I did not sign up to do this as a business at all. I'm in very common company with a lot of dual ambassadors who signed up for the discount, and that is exactly why I signed up. Actually didn't even know it was a health and wellness company, really just thought it was weight loss and signed up to lose a couple of pounds and mostly maintain it. I am a lifetime Weight Watchers leader, all of those things. And so I was just looking for a way to get away from points. What I found was a lot more than that. But I signed up, wasn't going to tell anybody about it. My best friend, I said, hey, I'm going to sign up and do this Plexus thing. And she told me I was stupid. And it wasn't like you're stupid. It was like, you are totally stupid if you do that. But she's now an Emerald Ambassador, so she finally boarded the train to success. But I signed up and just really wanted an easier way. So long story short, I got a lot more than that. I really didn't understand all of my health issues. I know that sounds crazy because I live in this body, but they were not the health issues that you dealt with all of them on every single day. So some days I would deal with one, another day I would deal with another. And so accumulatively, I had a lot of health issues, but I never looked at it like that. I struggled a long time with IBS, literally since childhood. Just thought it was normal, like didn't ever think it was a problem, didn't see it impeding my process. Long time sufferer of migraines, monthly migraines that are hormone induced. Even had an ablation several years ago to kind of help with those hormones. It just cut down on that. It didn't really help. Started coming back. I've had high blood pressure. I was on medicine for 7 years with that. And so a lot of health issues. But all of those things were not happening on the same day. I could no longer run or really walk well. I was a kindergarten teacher for 19 years. I would hobble across the classroom. My hip and joint discomfort was just really, it was a lot. So just thought that was what happened when you neared 40. I'm 45. And so I just, had started going downhill, coasting downhill, and really just thought this is the way it was going to be. And so I was really shocked, honestly, that some of those issues began to resolve pretty quickly in my journey. And so I'll tell you, I am a red personality. If you're familiar with the color personalities, very red.
Very red too.
Very, very competitive person. And I was on Facebook about 7 days in after starting Slim. And really, honestly, guys, didn't see a difference. Like, I just knew this wasn't going to work. I was already really good at sleeping, so it wasn't an issue. It's not something that I saw. I'm pretty energetic naturally, so I didn't notice anything happening. And the scale wasn't moving. Like, I just didn't see a difference 7 days in. And it's okay if you don't. But I saw a friend's husband posting on Facebook, and he had been posting for about 4 months about how he was on this weight loss journey, and he'd lost like 30 pounds, was looking amazing, but he kept like taunting us on Facebook, like, I'm losing weight, if you want to know, message me, all this stuff. And I didn't know what he was doing. Well, on my 7th day of Plexus, he goes and posts that he's doing Plexus. Well, we have tons of mutual friends. And I'm like, oh, he's not going to get to help all these people with their weight loss journey. Like, this is what I want to do. So I went into my bathroom. I took another picture. I'd taken all my pictures before. I took another picture of myself, and I could see a noticeable difference in my face. And I put the same outfit back on I had taken pictures in 7 days before. could see a difference happening already. That's back in the good old days, and you just slap side by sides up, and that's what I did. And it was crazy. Like, everything has happened just like that, just very accidental, and really wasn't planning to make it a business. Just thought, gosh, I could help a lot of people. If these products are already working 7 days in, how are they going to work, 7 months in? And I just knew that I had stumbled onto something that was going to be amazing for weight loss. But what I never expected is that I would get off of all prescription medications, that I would have no more issues in the bathroom, that I would no longer have that monthly issue every single month with the head in the vise. I would never have discomfort again if I just remember to take my Slim every day. And all of those things began to resolve. And all that happened when those were resolving was my passion was growing and growing and growing. And so quickly people started joining me, lots and lots of customers. And I was a teacher, and I am in Oklahoma, and we make nothing. We literally work for beans, and I've been teaching at that point 18 years. And I just thought, gosh, if I could make just a couple of extra $100 a month, like, this would be worth pursuing. And so, it was like March. So June comes, and I'm like, I'm on it. Like, we're going to work all summer on this. I'm going to reach out to people. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to do the things that I need to do. And here's the crazy thing. So if you're sitting there and you're going, well, I just don't know what to do, I don't know how to do it, that is an excuse. So stop saying that. I didn't have anybody to help me either. There was no training. I didn't even know what Zoom was. We didn't have online events back then. Like, all the things that we have now, 3 years later, it's literally like a revolution. So you got to quit saying that you can't do it or you don't have the tools, because you just have to make the tools. I mean, that's what we've done over the last 3 years, is build a business by using new and inventive tools that we all have come up with. And so just do it the basic way. Reach out and talk to people. Tell them, like, what you have. And here's a key point. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not good at sales. Y'all, I am horrible. Even now, I'm horrible at sales. I cannot talk people into things that they don't need, but everyone needs Plexus. So you have to stop saying that I'm not a salesperson. Well, I'm just not extroverted. Me either. I am more introverted than extroverted for sure. And so I would just tell you, stop making excuses and realize that this is for you. I heard somebody say a couple weeks ago that network marketing is not really for everyone. And I am going to disagree, y'all. I think it is for everyone. It's for every personality type. There is no skill set. Do you love people? Then you have the skill set. You just have to love people. You have to just be bold, and you have to decide that you're going to be determined to succeed instead of quitting when it gets hard. So literally took off, went gold in 3.5 months. 2 months later, I was senior gold, kind of felt stuck there. I know now that was not really stuck, but I felt stuck for about 5 or 6 months, and went to Leaders Retreat. Y'all, get to events. If you're not going to convention, you need to get there. Like, my belief was built there at that first Leaders Retreat when I started meeting people, and I saw how the company was, and it's incredible. It's magical. Mm-hmm. And so I told my husband, I said, you know what? I've never said this to you, honey, but I want to be a stay-at-home mom. And he laughed in my face and told me I was crazy. And then he flippantly said, well, when you go Emerald, you can quit teaching. What do you suppose that did to me? It just poured
reds, right?
So 2 months after Leaders Retreat, I went Ruby. 2 months after that, I went Senior Ruby. 2 months after that, I went Emerald. And y'all, I walked away from my teaching career. And I was done in May of, it was the end of May of 2015. And I loved teaching. I was so passionate about it. Nationally board certified teacher, like, wrote my own curriculum, loved what I did. But this is the truth. I never saw my kids. I was so encompassed into the teaching that I was doing and creating curriculum and making, learning exciting for other people's children, that I was missing out on my kids' lives. And I have a 17-year-old and an almost 11-year-old. And I have literally missed my oldest child most of her life by pouring my heart and my soul into something that I was really passionate about. But what I never seemed to grasp is that I should have been most passionate about my own family that God had provided me. And so when people say to me, well, how did you do that? Like, how did you have time to do that? while you were teaching? Like, how could you have built your business? Because I did. I went emerald with a full-time job. I want to tell you this. You have to make the time. You're going to have to make some sacrifices. And people are like, well, I'm just not willing to sacrifice this and that. Okay, are you willing to continue to work in the same job that you're doing right now for the next 40 years for someone else? Are you willing to do that? And if you are, that's awesome. But this girl right here wasn't willing to do that. I was willing to make some short-term sacrifices for long-term gains, and more importantly, for time freedom in the future. And so for 1 year, this is how I sacrificed working full-time. I got up an hour earlier every single day. What did I do in that hour? I would post on Facebook, I would answer messages, I would reach out, and I would follow up. That's what I did in that hour. So I was up before my family. I wasn't taking time away from them, but I was giving time to my business. I did not work my business during the school day. I have integrity. I wasn't going to be messaging people when I was supposed to be teaching people's children, but I did work during my lunch. I stopped going to the lounge and eating, and I worked for 30 minutes in my classroom while I ate my lunch every single day. Y'all, it's carving out time. That's what we call it, nooks and crannies. That's what it is. And then instead of staying at school until 5 or 6 o'clock, which is what I had been in the habit of doing, I looked at that and I thought, what am I doing in this 3-hour period after school that is unnecessary? Okay. It's unnecessary for me to go socialize with all the teachers. It's unnecessary for me to send individual emails to all these parents, to reinvent the wheel, to do this, to do that. And I stopped doing it. And so I would walk out the door no later than 4:30 and go home and start working my business. And then I would work an hour after all my people, my family, went to bed. That wasn't the majority of my sacrifice, okay? Because it doesn't sound very sacrificial, right? I've given up no family time. Weekends is when I sacrifice some family time. I would get up on Saturday morning before everybody else. They're all sleeping in until 10 o'clock, and I'm up at 7, and I am messaging. I'm following out. I'm posting on Facebook. I'm doing training. I'm doing personal development. I'm doing all of those things that are really necessary to be a leader and to learn about network marketing. And so there are days, there were weekends where my family would be like, we're going to go to the park or we're going to go to dinner. And y'all, I had to miss some of those. But you know how many I missed? Gosh, I don't know, 5, 10 maybe. Guess how many I miss now? I miss nothing now. I'm able to go to my kids' parties and stay the whole time instead of running down the hallway and snapping a picture really quick. I am able to be where I am needed, when I am needed. There is no more asking somebody if I can take the day off, or scheduling a substitute, or working on sub plans. And so, yes, sacrifices were made. But if you want the time freedom that comes with success in this business, you have to be willing to make some of those short-term sacrifices, because guess how much I'm sacrificing now? I am not sacrificing. I'm at my house on a computer in the middle of the afternoon. My kids are at school. My husband is at work. And here I am. This is time freedom. I went and got my hair done this morning, and I'm going to get my nails done after we're done today. Those things used to be done in the evening or on weekends. And now I'm able to do them during the day. And guess who is not missing out on their mom? My girls, because I'm going to be home with them tonight, right? So I would just tell you guys, stop saying you don't have time. It's an excuse. And I can say that to you because you don't know me and you don't hate me. I'm telling you, it is.
Wow. That is awesome.
If you say
that. No, nobody hates you. I think it's the truth, right? It's what hits people between the eyes of, I say I want something, but am I really willing to do what it takes to get what I say that I really want? And so, gosh, I love your story, love your heart, love your passion. Your boldness that comes across, Kristine, is huge and was probably one of those biggest propellers of your success. So thank you for sharing your story. I've been reading a book called Habit, The Way of a Habit. I don't have it with me because I think my husband has stole it. It's in our car. Phil, I told Phil he had to read it. But it talks about key habits that when you can just change one thing, there's this domino effect that starts to change all the other habits. You talked a lot about the things you sacrificed, but if you could go back and think about during that time, and maybe even now, still something that has stuck, that was a key habit that you maybe changed pre-plexus to post-plexus, what would that be?
This is the key thing for me and my success, and it's that I had to get over the fact that not everybody's going to like me and everybody's going to support me. And I'm being totally transparent with you guys. I am one of the most transparent people you will ever meet. Like I don't put on a dog for anybody. It's just who I am. I am a regular Oklahoma girl. And I'm just going to tell you that I've been defriended and blocked on Facebook by multiple people. Two of my bridesmaids defriended me on Facebook because they were tired of watching me do something they were unwilling, not unable, but unwilling to do. They just did not see themselves doing what I was doing. And here's what I've learned. And I've really learned it in the last probably year and a half. It always bothered me. I was always like, why can they not support me? Or why do they have to be a naysayer? Why can't they just be a quiet skeptic? Why do they have to just unfriend me or say ugly things about what I'm doing or make fun of me behind my back? Why can they not just be quiet about it? Or why can they not just be supportive and say, good for you, I don't want to do it. But guys, what I've realized is this: there are really two reasons why people block, defriend, and are naysayers or just are negative with what we do with network marketing. And first of all, it's because they are too scared to do what we're doing. They're scared of the failure. Or this is true, and it's hard for some people to hear. There are a lot of people that like to be stuck, y'all. They just do. It's easier to be stuck than to work for your dreams, because if you're stuck, then you can blame it on all the other surrounding things. And there are people that like to live their life complaining about all the things they don't have. And it's hard for some of us to hear that, but it's the truth. And I'm thinking right now of a specific person who blocked me, who I knew most of my adult life. And she couldn't watch me succeed anymore when she wasn't doing anything but staying stuck in her own life. And so I've learned to overcome that. That's been the biggest key to my success, is to just stop worrying about what everybody else thinks about what I do. And I just am doing it. You know what? Their opinions are never paying my bills, and they're sure not helping me reach my dreams.
Right. Wow. So true. We are like cut from the same cloth, girl. I don't know how come we haven't spent more time together, but that's awesome. And so one last piece of advice that you might have for someone who's listening to your story right now, who's like, the light bulb has gone off and they're like, I'm not giving my business the attention that I need to, and I don't know where to cut first. You talked about several different things, but what would be your number one piece of advice to them to get started, to start making those changes for those sacrifices?
Well, it always comes back to your why. Okay, how bad do you want this? You've got to determine that. And if it doesn't wake you up in the morning, if it's not the first thing you think about, it's the last thing you pray for before you go to bed, your why is not big enough. Okay, so get a why that propels you forward and allows you to never quit. Okay, that's my first thing. Second of all, I would tell you this. You're going to have to carve out time. And sometimes what happens, and it happened to me for a long time until I got smarter, like I wish I could go back and change what I had done from the beginning, because I would do it so different and it would have been easier. I did it hard. But I would tell you to work on a power hour, like set a timer and stop scrolling Facebook. Because I thought working my business was scrolling Facebook and liking people's statuses and commenting. That is not working your business. Working your business is investing in your relationships and in your relationship with yourself. So training, I consider to be very much, I think it's IPA. I really do, because if I'm not working on me, I can't help anybody else work on them. And I think that building relationships with people, reaching out to them, following up with them, those are very, very important. And I just think that training is just huge. And I train every day still. I go and get on YouTube and I watch videos and I learn from amazing jewels and people in the industry that are not even in Plexus. And so I would just suggest, if you really want to do this business, that you set yourself up with 3 to 4 power hours with a timer, no Facebook distractions every single week. And you guys, you're going to see your business change. You just will.
That's awesome. 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 I couldn't agree more. I don't know how many times at the beginning of my journey I sat around and thought about my business and thought that thinking about my business was actually building my business. Not so much. You got to connect with people. Kristine, thank you again. I have enjoyed connecting with you this afternoon. Thank you for your time. I know that our team is going to totally be blessed by this, and I pray that you are blessed, and I will see you real soon at convention.
Yay!
Okay. Thank you.